My boyfriend, 26-year-old male, and I, 29-year-old female, have been together for 8 years. The other night, we found out that his brother and his girlfriend just got engaged. They have been together for 5 years. Although I am truly happy for them, my heart broke for our relationship. I have tried in the past to get more clear information about our future, but I simply received the response, "I'm not ready for marriage yet." I have been patient. He started dropping hints of a proposal back in December after my brother proposed to his girlfriend, even though they had only been together for a year. I have tried my hardest to hide my pain and sadness from him because I didn't want it to affect his decision. He knows how I feel because I have told him in previous years that I am ready for a proposal and to move forward. However, this time, it has hit me really hard. I have been in tears since we found out. The next day, he spent a few hours at his mom's. Later, when I was on my afternoon walk, he caught up to me. He told me that he had a really good conversation with his mom and then went to my parents' house and asked my dad for my hand in marriage. He even has a ring. I can't help but feel like it's a last-ditch effort to pick up the pieces of my broken heart. He says that it's just bad timing and that he already planned to propose this year. He even regrets not proposing during a vacation we took over a year ago. I asked him if, independent of his brother's engagement, he would still have asked for my hand in marriage that day. He said that it was in response to his conversation with his mom, but that conversation happened because he knew how upset I was about the whole situation. Now I feel incredibly hurt. I love him so much and don't want to break up with him, but I feel like I have to. Now I know there's a proposal coming, but it feels like if I accept it, I am accepting something that is meant to fix a broken heart instead of celebrating a moment of growth and true happiness. I don't know what to do now. I feel lost. Edit. Thank you to everyone who contributed. There were a lot of things said that got me thinking, but I think it was those who shared their experiences that really helped guide me towards the answer I was looking for. I can see that the title was not the best. It should have read, "My boyfriend asked my dad for my hand in marriage the day after his brother got engaged. The proposal has not happened." There are some questions from commenters that I think I should respond to. How did we meet? Well, we met at work. How old are the siblings? The brother from the most recent engagement is younger than my boyfriend, but only by a little. My brother is much older. Are we Indian? No, we're not. Has there been talk about marriage in the past? Yes, lots of it. We keep a note on our phones where we track delicious desserts and foods we have at places in our area that we would consider having at our wedding, plus other details we want to make special. Beyond that, we have had very heartfelt conversations in the past about our desire for marriage, both on my end and his. Update: we have had a lengthy conversation. Although he is ready for marriage, he has been trying to overcome some childhood trauma and unhealthy views on marriage. Based on our conversation, this is the only thing that has kept him from proposing, and he insists that he was always intending to propose regardless of bad timing. I do feel that he is being sincere. I know that there is a proposal coming. My biggest concern was the intention behind the proposal. After our conversation, I am certain of my decision. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. My ex-husband's older brother dumped his current girlfriend and sought out an old girlfriend right after my ex proposed to me. They were engaged within 6 months. I've heard that men don't get married until they think it's time, and when it's time, they often marry who they're with at the time. I'm not sure if that makes sense or not. Like his older brother realized, shit, I do want to get married, but I don't want to marry the woman I've been with for 5 years. Who do I want to marry? Oh, that woman I dated in college. Many times, a woman will get tired of waiting for a proposal, break up with the guy, and he'll end up marrying the next woman he dates because he realized he does finally want to get married. Comment 2. I asked my husband his opinion, and we were both on the same page. If it took a conversation with his mom to get him off the fence about marrying you, why didn't he choose to have this conversation long before now? Half of me bets that it was not him asking his mom about you, but his mom going, "When are you going to shoot or get off the pot?" in the face of his brother's proposal. Yes, he's saying, I regret not asking you a year before. Dude, I Dude, I think your instincts are correct, OP. He doesn't really want to get married. He's just doing it to make you happy. If you accept that ring, get ready for a long engagement. Now, for the update. Hey everyone, thanks for sticking around after my last post. It's been a rough 3 months, and I've got quite the update for you all. So, after that heart-to-heart with my boyfriend, things took a turn I didn't expect. He started going to therapy to deal with his childhood issues. It was tough for him, but I could see he was making an effort. We'd been through a lot together, like when we both got laid off from our jobs within the same month a few years back. We supported each other through that rough patch, and it felt like we were back in that same teamwork mode. But then, his brother's wedding planning kicked into high gear. My boyfriend was his best man, and I could tell it was getting to him. He was happy for his brother, sure, but it was like every flower arrangement and cake tasting was a reminder of what we didn't have. I tried to be there for him, but it was hard not to feel a little resentful. One night, after a particularly tense discussion about wedding playlists, he surprised me. He took me to the place where we had our first date, a little diner that made the best milkshakes. It was there, with a chocolate shake in hand, that he finally proposed. It was sweet and simple, and for a moment, I forgot all about my doubts. But then, the surprises kept coming. A week after the proposal, I found out I was pregnant. We hadn't planned it, but it felt like maybe this was the universe telling us it was our time. My boyfriend was over the moon, and suddenly he was all in on planning our future. We started looking at houses, talking about baby names, and yes, even planning our own wedding. It was hectic, but exciting. We decided on a small ceremony, just family and close friends. We even picked out a dessert from our note on our phones to serve at the reception. But then, 2 months into the pregnancy, I miscarried. It was devastating. We were both so ready to start this new chapter, and then it was just gone. My boyfriend was my rock during that time, just like I'd been his during his therapy. The miscarriage brought us closer in a way I didn't think was possible. We grieved together, and it made us realize how much we really wanted this life together. The wedding planning continued, but it was different now. It wasn't just about the excitement of getting married. It was about us, our bond, and the family we still hope to build. And now here we are, just a week away from the wedding. It's bittersweet. We're moving forward, but we're also carrying the memory of the baby we lost. My boyfriend has been incredible, and I know he's going to make an amazing husband. It's not the fairy tale I imagined, but it's real, and it's ours. Husband threatens divorce over dirty kitchen, but I find out he's cheating. Oh boy, he's in for a big surprise. Like, just do it at this point? My 26-year-old, female 26 husband, male 42, is sucking the life out of me. After every single argument, he brings up divorce or accuses me of cheating, or both. We have been together for almost 7 years, married for almost 2. The other night he came home and I didn't clean the kitchen up yet. I just got the babies to sleep like 20 minutes prior to him getting home, so I just didn't get a chance. He accused me of leaving our children with a sitter all day and going out to do I don't know what. And that's why it was a mess, and I need to do better. Nope, I worked a double the day before and just chilled and spent quality time with our kids. By the way, I did clean all of the bedrooms in our apartment. I just left the kitchen a mess because I was tired and it was kind of bad and I felt overwhelmed. I felt like my time would be better used in that moment if I used it to take my kids on a nice evening walk. So fast forward to him just digging into me so hard and intentionally pushing me until I just flipped. And I told him I could not stand him. Now he tells me he can't be with me. He can't be with someone who cannot stand him, and I have hurt him so deep, and I've destroyed our relationship because I've attacked him and his manhood. The manhood thing is a long story to explain that tracks back to an older fight, and he wants a divorce. He doesn't want us to separate, just divorce, because apparently that won't mess our kids up. It's just ridiculous. I'm just so tired of being told he does not want to be with me. I'm so tired of being accused of cheating on him when I have literally never cheated. Never even talked to another guy in a intimacy manner like that. We even had a discussion one night where I told him beyond him, I'm pretty sure I'm asexual. Like if I'm sneaking off to a motel in the middle of the day, it's to take a nap because I am just so tired. I have no fight left in me to get him to stay. It's just exhausting. Like if you want to leave me, then just go. I keep telling him I just don't care anymore. Just please leave me alone if that's what you want to do. We don't even have to divorce. Like I don't even care to remarry in the future. I just need some peace in my life. I don't want my kids to grow up in a broken family, but I feel like I'm just losing my mind. What do I do? Edit. Spelling error. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. I don't want my kids to grow up in a broken family. But think about the example you're setting for them by staying. Is this the kind of relationship you want them to end up in the future? Because by staying, you're showing them that this is acceptable. And let's be real, it's already broken. Also, you need to take the steps for the divorce because he's not actually doing it. He's only threatening you in order to control you. Comment 2. You staying and losing your mind could be more harmful than being in a broken family. I'm wondering how many and how old are your kids? Also, him constantly accusing you of cheating seems like a red flag. Is he cheating? Also, you are literally in your prime years. You should not be stressing so much. I hope it gets better for you soon. Now for the update. Hey everyone, thanks for all the comments on my last post. It's been a wild month, and I've got some updates for you all. So, after my last post, things got even crazier. My husband, let's call him Mark, had been getting more and more distant. He was always working late, and when he was home, he was either yelling at me or ignoring me and the kids. It was like living with a stranger. One day, I was cleaning out the closet and found a stack of receipts from a jewelry store. They were for a necklace and a pair of earrings, but I'd never seen them before. My birthday had passed, and our anniversary wasn't for another 6 months. I was confused and honestly a little scared to ask him about it. I decided to confront Mark about the jewelry. He got all defensive and said they were for a client, but I knew that was a lie. Mark works in IT. He doesn't have clients that he needs to buy jewelry for. I pushed him on it, and he finally admitted that he'd been seeing someone else. I was devastated, but not surprised. It was like all the signs were there, but I didn't want to see them. The other woman, let's call her Sarah, worked with Mark. She was younger, and from what I gathered, she knew all about me and the kids. Mark said he was in love with her and that he wanted a divorce so he could be with her. I was so angry and hurt, but a part of me felt relieved. It was like I finally had a reason to let go. I told Mark to leave, and he did. He moved in with Sarah, and for a while, it was just me and the kids. It was tough, but we were managing. I started to feel like I could breathe again, like I was finally getting some peace. But then, the unexpected happened. Sarah showed up at my door one evening, crying. She said she was sorry and that she didn't know what she was thinking. Apparently, Mark had started treating her the same way he treated me. He was accusing her of cheating, starting fights over nothing, and making her feel like she was going crazy. She'd had enough and kicked him out. I didn't know what to say. I was still angry, but I also felt sorry for her. She was just another victim of Mark's behavior. I told her that she deserved better and that she should find someone who would treat her right. A few weeks later, I got a call from Mark. He was begging to come back, saying he'd made a huge mistake. But I was done. I told him that I didn't want him back and that I was filing for divorce. He tried to argue, but I hung up. The divorce process was long and messy. Mark tried to fight me on everything, but in the end, I got full custody of the kids and the apartment. He didn't even show up to the final hearing. And here's the subtle justice part. Mark's life has fallen apart since the divorce. He lost his job because he couldn't focus, and without Sarah or me to take his anger out on, he's just a lonely, bitter man. I heard from a mutual friend that he's been trying to date, but no one wants to be with someone with so much baggage. As for me, I've been doing great. I got a promotion at work, and the kids are happier than they've been in a long time. We're a strong little family, and we don't need Mark to make us complete. Fiona accuses me of cheating on Eric with our friend John and threatens to expose it to his family. Oh boy, she's in for a surprise. I'm literally seething. My boyfriend Eric and I have been together for 5 years. The only reason that we haven't gone towards getting married is that he has been suffering some severe medical kidney issues. He is finally scheduled for a transplant. A cousin was a match this month. I also have a good friend who I will call John. I met John in college before I met my boyfriend. Because we were both young, single, partying, we thought, what if, and ended up sleeping together the last night of one of the terms. It was enough to clarify to both of us that hell no, we were not compatible. John and I have been 100% platonic friends since that point. There is no world in which we ever get involved again. Eric knows about it. When John and I's silly mistake happened, we kept it pretty quiet among our friends. But when Eric and I started dating, I told him before I introduced him to John. Sure, it was a little awkward, but it's been years and they're good friends now. Even hang out without me. Fast forward to today and enter Fiona. Fiona is my little sister's best friend, and because of that, she hangs around with a lot of our group a lot. We live in a small town. Fiona is fine, but she likes to stir things up. Basically what happened was a couple of weeks ago, my sister told Fiona about John and I, thinking it was a funny story. But no, Fiona is now convinced that I cheated on Eric with John, as in recently, and that Eric doesn't know. I know all this because she texted me a long paragraph about how she was shocked I could do this while Eric was suffering, and that if I didn't tell him in the next 2 weeks, she would. And then she blocked me. I've been spamming her on social media, trying to get her to talk to me about how this is a misunderstanding, but she blocked me there too. My sister tried to walk it back and say that she has it all wrong, but Fiona is convinced that my sister is just trying to save face for me and says she won't be complicit. She's also threatened to tell our family via Facebook. What do I do? I'm trying my best to not have this get back to Eric. Literally, the last thing Eric needs right now before surgery is to get involved in a huge drama, especially with his family who are conservative. He knows the truth, but he is private and would be mortified. He's supposed to be resting and staying stress-free. I tried to get John to talk to her too, but she won't listen to him either. I've never dealt with this level of crazy before. Please someone tell me what to do. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Tell Eric and his family before Fiona does. Have Eric's sister and John corroborate. If all 4 of you present a united front to the family, then Fiona has no power. If Eric's family already knows about the history, it will just make Fiona come off as unhinged because they can say, well, yeah, OP and John dated once. It didn't work out and they stayed friends. Eric is friends with John too. What's the big deal? More importantly, they will likely want evidence of which Fiona should have none, right? In which case, she'll come off as even more unhinged for bringing this up before Eric's surgery. If Fiona then goes and tells the family, then cut her off, all of you, because you all don't need that kind of industrialized idiocy in your life. Comment 2. You're making this a bigger deal than it had to be. Why are you or your sister doing anything besides saying, Eric already knows about this, and moving on? The frantic contact attempts are exactly what you would do if you were trying to hide something. Just tell Eric, Fiona found out about John and has the wrong idea and is being super weird about it. FYI in case she says anything to you, and then get on with your day. Eric can decide for himself if he wants to talk to Fiona and/or his family about it or not. It doesn't have to be huge drama if neither of you makes it huge drama. And it's going to be less stressful to hear this from you now than to be caught off guard by it 2 weeks from now. Now, for the update. Hey everyone, thanks for all the support on my last post. I wish I could say things have gotten better, but buckle up because this week has been a wild ride. So after Fiona blocked me everywhere, I thought maybe she'd cool off, but nope. She started dropping hints to Eric's family about infidelity in our circle. I was freaking out, trying to keep Eric in the dark so he could focus on his health. But you know how small towns are. Word travels fast. John, bless his heart, tried to intervene. He went to Fiona's place to clear the air, but she slammed the door in his face. He's been a true friend through all this, reminding me of that time back in college when we had to team up for a class project and pulled an all-nighter to get it done. We've been through some tough spots, but this was next level. Meanwhile, Eric's been getting weaker, and his surgery got moved up. The stress was the last thing he needed. I spent nights at his place, just trying to keep him calm and happy. We'd watch old movies, talk about our future, anything to keep his mind off the drama. Then, 2 days ago, it all blew up. Fiona went ahead and posted a vague, dramatic message on Facebook about truths being revealed and people showing their true colors. My phone blew up with messages from confused friends and family. Eric saw it too. He didn't say anything at first, just went really quiet, which is his way when he's upset. I had to tell him everything about Fiona's accusations, the blocked messages, the whole mess. He was hurt that I didn't trust him to handle it, and I felt terrible. We had a long, hard talk about trust and communication. It was one of those heart-to-heart conversations that make you realize how much you've got to learn about each other, even after 5 years. Eric decided he wanted to confront Fiona himself. He's always been the type to face things head-on, like when he stood up to his boss for unfair treatment at work last year. It's one of the things I admire about him. So, we went to Fiona's together. When we got there, Fiona was all smug until Eric started talking. He told her he knew the truth, that she was wrong, and how her actions were affecting his health. Fiona's face went white as a sheet. She tried to stammer out an apology, but Eric wasn't having it. He told her she was no longer welcome in our lives. As we were leaving, Fiona called out, saying she had something to tell us, something important. We stopped, and she confessed that her actions were out of jealousy. Turns out, Fiona had a crush on Eric since high school. She saw how happy we were, and it made her bitter. She thought by breaking us up, she'd have a chance with him. I was floored. Eric was just disgusted. He told her that what she did was beyond forgiveness and that he never saw her that way. We left her standing on her porch, looking small and alone. But here's the twist. When we got back to Eric's place, there was a letter in the mail from his cousin, the one who was supposed to donate the kidney. He was backing out. He'd gotten cold feet after hearing rumors about family drama and didn't want to be involved in any way. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day!